Welcome back, guys. My name is Fernandoherrera, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to create the most crispy golden hash browns. Definitely a good recipe to have in your book. And so go ahead and like the video, subscribe, and let's go ahead and begin. Okay guys, so to begin, I'm going to be using all the things you guys see pretty much here. I'm going to be using 3 potatoes. I'm going to be using a peeler. So the first thing that you're going to do is go ahead and peel these potatoes. I don't like normally potatoes have the skin because they don't become crunchy enough. However, that's your personal preference. Then you normally shred them with, I have this little like shredder or potato shredder, slicer, you could call it whatever you want. But we're going to go ahead and shred all the potato in the hash brown form. I normally then add some water. This is where I pretty much wash this container and at the same time add enough water where I can just soak all of the potato, and pretty much it helps me remove that kind of, not oily, but it's more like a really like a starch from the potato. It's actually the liquid within the potato that allows the potato to actually become dark. So I don't know if you guys are familiar, sometimes when you cook potatoes or hash brown, they might become darker as you leave them outside. So following this step will actually allow the potatoes to kind of remove that. And then on top of that, it will allow the potatoes to actually absorb the oil when being cooked a little bit better and allowing them to become more crispier. So that's what I'm trying to say there. Normally then, or the next step is really to put them in a towel. I go ahead and kind of just slightly push them through and kind of let them dry for some moments here. Again, the drier the potatoes are, the better they're going to be and when it comes to cooking them, because they're going to absorb that oil a little bit better. This is a good time also when I add a little bit of salt. Normally I will add a lot, or not a lot, but just to preference. Definitely if they are a lot of potatoes, I would add definitely a little bit more salt. Then we go ahead and turn on the fire. We put some oil. I just pretty much kind of calculate a little bit of oil, maybe like 2 to 3 teaspoons of oil, maybe just enough. The whole point here is to have enough oil where you can soak all of the potatoes at once, but again, you're not frying them. You're just gonna be slightly submerging them, or kind of like just cooking them through with just enough oil. And then normally I test the pan, once it's actually bubbling and crisping, then you could go ahead and put, all the potatoes and start cooking them. Next step is to pretty much mix the potatoes with the oil. As you guys could see, the potatoes will start to absorb the oil, and that's exactly what we want. So I'm gonna be sure to mix the potatoes all well so that each one single piece of potato has some oil, because if one of them does not have enough oil, keep in mind that they're not going to be cooked very well. So be sure to mix this very well. You should not be having a lot of oil on the pan. As you can see now, the pan's starting to look a little less oily because all of the oil is actually going to the potatoes. The next step I do, and this is a very important step, is you're going to go ahead and form a bit of a circle. This is the form that the hash brown's going to form, because I normally do a circle and then kind of like flip it as an omelet. And then I'm going to put this plate. In my case, this plate fits perfectly in my iron skillet, and I'm going to set a 5-minute timer. Keep in mind that I'm pretty much, the fire is in medium high, but you do want to be careful with this, because the first times I used to cook this, I would either undercook or overcook to a point where it could become too crunchy or too almost burnt. This is a time where I normally take to, maybe cook some eggs, do something else, and wait for the hash browns to be ready. Now, the logic behind the plate, guys, is that sometimes I would be cooking my hash browns and the bottom part would be crispy and delicious. However, the top part would be uncooked. And then if I had to cook the top part by flipping it, then the crispy part becomes soft because it's no longer, I guess, crispy. It's absorbing the heat and the humidity from the other hash brown. So long story short, really what this allows, the whole logic behind the plate is to let the potatoes on the top of the hash brown, the one that's not on the skillet surface, to actually become in a way steamed and cooked. So once the 5 minutes are done, as you guys can see, there's some steam, so be very careful. This plate's gonna be very hot. You're gonna go ahead and pretty much flip the the potatoes in a way that it's gonna be half into an omelet form. Now I normally kind of like just scrape the bottom because sometimes they might be a little bit stuck, and so you don't want to be trying to flip this into the omelet where it's only, you know, it's not gonna work. So right there we have it, and I did mess up on the video because I accidentally I guess got the hash brown in a form that I should have not, but either way it still worked, guys. Normally hash browns, I do like them served and, you know, pretty much eat them at the moment, because if you do wait some time, they're gonna become soft and they're not gonna be good anymore. So with that being said, guys, again, I pretty much finished up my egg here, and you pretty much serve them up and you guys are pretty much ready to go. You will have very delicious crispy hash browns, not a lot of oil, kind of healthy, kind of very good, delicious breakfast. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.